Okay. Yep. So there we go. All right. So understanding this idea, we've been talking about leadership and confidence, and I really want to help you realize that the confidence you're seeking is not, if it's external, it's wildly temporary. If it's external, it's wildly temporary. I would offer you the opportunity to understand that when you activate the internal level of confidence you were already born with, you'll do some amazing things. So before we begin, I want to acknowledge something that's rarely spoken, uh, but deeply felt. Men and women experience confidence through different nervous systems, different social codings, and often through very different internal obstacles. It is not for teaching confidence and values, it is uniquely individualistic and, more importantly, culturally different, as confidence was wired into you. Right? Yesterday in the meditation we said you've not been operating on your program, you've been operating on a downloaded program. What others have told you confidence is, what others told you the way you should be. None of these differences are flaws. They're just energetic blueprints. I want you to think about that. Your current success model is a blueprint. Your current one, the one you're striving for, is a new blueprint. And you simply must upgrade. Now, many people, it's as if there was that building code where you see where they have to leave the old house in place, and sometimes they will build a house around the house and take the old house out through the door. Right? You've seen people, you've heard people do that, or they build one wall of the new building, of the new house, including one wall of the old house, and yet destroy everything else and tear everything else apart and renovate it. That's the word I was looking for. A little sleepy. I'll get there. So I want you to understand that. Just say for a second, hey, listen, my current success is a blueprint. It's not my identity. It's a blueprint I've been using. I'm pretty associated with it. I'm pretty tied into it. So when we understand these and we stop trying to fake confidence, because that's been part of our blueprint, is to fake confidence. Social media gives us such an amazing chance to temporarily seem important. And in that importance, we link it to confidence. So here's some thoughts and concepts research shows us. For women, we're often taught to earn approval by being agreeable, emotionally attuned, and likable. You've been trained, and it's part of your nature, to be communal. You read the room before you read yourself. So confidence for many women gets wrapped up in questions like, will this upset anyone? Am I too much? See, I don't know that that has ever crossed my mind for me. I know the question came across as I'm not enough once I transitioned to my understanding and my belief in myself. So anyways, do I need to soften this? Is another question that sometimes you'll ask yourself. Often the silent belief running on underneath all of this is, am I fully myself? If I'm fully myself, I won't be loved. Anybody, anybody who feels like that? Not that you feel like that. You probably, this isn't you, but you know anybody who feels like that? And for men, we're often taught to earn significance is to be strong and to be competent and unfazed. right? Don't cry. Real men don't cry, right? Unfazed. You've been trained to suppress fear and deny vulnerability and to figure it out. So confidence for many men gets wrapped behind the armor and tension of looking to be strong. That makes sense? Always trying to prove it before they feel it. Alexa, stop. Not sure why she jumped in the conversation. A silent belief running underneath might sound like I'm not tough enough. If I'm not tough enough, I'll be dismissed. Right? These are things that get wired into it. This is the program that gets downloaded. Yet both programs, both of these programmings and responses to programming, they're not reflections of who you are. You know that. You feel that. That's why you feel disconnected, you aggravated, frustrated after the event, after the situation. Confidence isn't masculine or feminine. It's mammalian. This is the mammalian brain, that alligator brain, that third part of the brain. That's where confidence comes in. The confidence starts in your own body. Every cell in your body exudes confidence. This is why dogs smell fear. You could show up going, hey, puppy, 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 and they still smell fear because it's your body that shows confidence. You could meet somebody and say, they don't seem, somebody walks out on stage. They seem like they have a great presentation. They just don't exude confidence. It's a feeling of safety in your own body. That's what it comes down to. It's this feeling of safety in your own body, certainty in your own breath. It's who you are, not what you say. And it's having an authority in your voice before the world has anything to say about it. It's about having authority in your voice, in your own voice, before the world has anything to say about it or you or what you're about to say. Does that make sense? Important to understand that, important to hear this, so that you can realize that what you're hoping to accomplish, you can't accomplish if you're hoping to accomplish it. It's a must that you show up ready, fully engaged, ready to learn, ready to teach, ready to share, ready to give, ready to receive in all of these moments. So in this meditation, we're not teaching you how to act confident. We're showing your nervous system how to remember it, because you were born with it. You literally were. Now, there's some people who are more confident than others. It comes from some generational stuff, some stuff that got wired in real early. This is about you stepping into this level of confidence. Right? Some of you are old enough to remember when E.F. Hutton speaks, people listen. Remember that commercial, E.F. Hutton? Wasn't the loudest one in the room. It was the one that made people feel safe. Had important information to give. I don't know, maybe people care about if you had eggs Benedict for breakfast or lunch or dinner. We're missing the chance to lead people confidently because of how we're supposed to follow an algorithm. So this level of confidence that you have, you were born with it. Before they taught you to wait, before they taught you to doubt, before the world asked you to shrink or pose. You were born with it before all of that. Confidence isn't louder, it's lower and deeper. Not tighter, more open. Confidence is not louder, it's lower, it's deeper. It's not tighter, it's more open to everything around you. And that's what we're returning to now. So I offer you this idea of to sit for just a moment and become aware of, where is your confidence reside? How does it show up in your shoulders? If your shoulders were confident, if your hands were confident, your heart operated from the level of confidence that exists in it, how about your lungs? What would confident lungs feel like? What would a confident smile look like flashed across your face? What about confident eye? How would you listen confidently? Couldn't you truly listen openly to all? Covey said, seek first to understand, then be understood. Sounds like confidence. What if you could listen with such intensity, you might even miss your turn to respond? Somebody goes, so what do you think about that? Was still engrossed, engaged in the conversation, in the dialogue, listening to you. You've had that happen before. It might serve you if it happened more. It's happened to you, where you were so ingrained in listening to their response, to their articulation of the dialogue, that you literally didn't know it was your turn to respond. Does that make sense? So if you were to wake up today realizing the confidence you are seeking has already been alive in you for decades, what would change? Why would it change? What would you allow to shift in your life? If you just sit for just a moment, feel free to close your eyes and just sit for a moment and simply say the word. Don't say I am just yet. Just utter the word confident. Confident. What do I hear when I hear the word confident? What do I feel when I hear the word confident? Is there resistance? Is there an activation? Just say the word confident. Confident. Confidently. Confident. What do I feel? When do I feel confident? Confident. Confident lives where in my body? What would hearing confidently be? What would loving confidently feel like? Confident. 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 This is the wiring, the rebuilding of your blueprint of your confident self. That's the conversation for this morning. What'd you feel? What'd you learn? What'd you like? What's your takeaway? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Any questions? Could be none.
Good morning,
Great day,
Sean.
Sean. Oh, go ahead.
Good morning, Zelka.
Well, Raj wanted to go. Why don't you let him go first?
Okay. Good morning, Raj.
Ladies first, ladies first.
All right, I'll go. Good morning, Sean. How are you feeling this morning?
Outstanding.
Okay. Okay, so confidence, yes, I think that is so incredibly important. I think it like if you don't feel confident in yourself, in your body, in what you're doing, in your knowledge, you don't show up that way, and people tend to not trust you or believe you if you're not confident the way you speak and the way you share things. But I also believe that you were bringing up the difference between men and women. And certainly it has a lot to do with the culture and the culture you were brought up in. And I think women are much differently brought up in this culture versus in the German culture.
100%.
Yes. And because I often get pushback the way I speak and the way I come along. Some men don't like that. They feel like maybe threatened if a woman is confident. They rather prefer.
Well, so understand that, yes, knowing confidence and being and having that energy confused as something else doesn't make them wrong. Simply being right doesn't make it acceptable. Hear me out. If you have to deal in that world, so English is the most popular language on the planet. Mandarin is coming up quickly. Spanish is there as well. But English is the most popular one, right? So if I go someplace and I show up as an American and I show up in a place and I say, well, you should learn to speak English. That may be true, but it's not right. So when we show up confidently and say some people get offended by it, if there's a continuous pattern of people getting offended by it, to live in that world, you may have to adapt to ease them in to understanding it.
No, that's not what I was talking about.
Okay, but if some guys get upset with it, then the point is that it doesn't serve well to have a conversation. If you'd like to have that engagement, that they get upset with it. That's just who they are. You can sit there and watch, oh, if I show my confidence, they would just get upset.
Well, I don't care whether they get upset or not.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
No, I don't. No.
Yes, you do. That's a lie. That's a flat out lie.
I don't.
You do. How do I know? Because you get upset.
But not whether they like it or not, because I have no control
that's the only
over
thing
them.
You're getting upset.
I only have control over myself, so
yeah,
I cannot control whether they like it or not.
So
does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So I get upset maybe if I need to do business with them, but otherwise I don't. But the point I wanted to make was that being brought up in Germany, I think many of us are taught, many girls growing up are taught to be independent and to be confident in themselves and not to rely on a man, which is much different than we bring up girls here.
Here or Latin America or any place, yes.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't live in Latin America. I live here, so I notice it more. But maybe that is the case. And I think that's the difference.
100%. Oh, absolutely. Cultural. So, which means much like we adapt and learn the language of another culture that we're in, right? There's specific words. There's things that you say down south you don't say up north. There's things that you say you would say in Latin America that you don't say here because they'd be misconstrued.
Well,
So we have to not only learn to speak the language, we have to learn to speak the culture.
well, and that is very true. I think when you learn a language, you also understand the culture better if you know the language, because a lot of the culture is reflected in the language.
And this is why people who speak the language, they have a poor version of the language, usually have poor experiences in the culture. Totally get it.
No, I'm not sure what.
No. What I'm saying is that when you teach High German,
Yes,
you understand you're getting to understand the philosophy of the language. If I just walk around going eins, drei, vier, hola, danke, and auf Wiedersehen, I may be speaking the language, but it is a poor version of the language, so I never get to experience the culture because I never understand the language.
yeah, and you don't understand the people, because I think it also has a lot to do with that. Like, for instance, German, when you learn German, German is very detailed. It has a lot of changes and they're very subtle. So once you learn that, you can understand why most German people are very detail oriented, and it drives other people crazy. It's funny, not all of us are that way, but many people are very detail oriented. I think it really originates from the language, because you have to really pay attention to the endings and the changes, where English is a very simple language. It duplicates very, very easily because nothing changes. German does not duplicate very easily if you don't know the rules. So it's also more rule-based language. Just like, I mean, here, just to give an example, for instance, here people don't seem to care whether the light is red or green. They still walk. In Germany, when the light is red, people stand and they wait for the light to get green, and they get very upset when somebody walks into the street when it's red. They literally either yell at the person, "It's rot," or they grab them and they tell them it's rot. Well, here, people have a different sense of being, I think, as well.
Which leads back to the culture of leading back to nobody wants to be told what to do.
That's a very big culture here.
That's a very big culture. So when you show up confidently, anybody shows up confidently, they see it as an attack and as a threat.
Here, yes.
Yes. So how do we ease them into a conversation? It's a lot more artistic in the nature of creating a dialogue with somebody if you believe that they're part of the no rules culture.
No.
They think that things should be given to them. So if things should be given to them and you're talking about someplace where they have to go work, they have to do what Jim Rohn says, provide value to get income, there's going to be an argument.
Yeah, you just took it another level. And
Yep.
I think that's very, very true.
So the point is that if understanding the language gives you an understanding of the culture, there's people who have bad Spanish that when they show up and think they're doing good Spanish as they're talking to people, the folks who understand the Spanish are like, this guy's just an arrogant ass because his Spanish sucks. He's got great maybe grammar and school stuff, but the accent is hard. It's just hard to listen to. So that's what I'm saying, is that the more you truly understand, I have a decent accent because I learned my Puerto Rican Spanish. Now people laugh at it And I can't believe I have a Puerto Rican accent. I do after 20 years because that's where I learned how to pronounce my words as an adult, not as a child. So when people hear me, are you Puerto Rican? I'm like, I can't believe my accent is that thick in Puerto Rican. So
Yeah, I couldn't hear that. Well, I have never really heard you speak Spanish, but I can hear the difference because I learned the Mexican Spanish because I learned Spanish here in San Diego, which teaches the Mexican Spanish. So I can hear the difference between the Mexican Spanish and the Colombian Spanish.
oh,
I have
100%.
a lot of
And
Colombian.
Spain Spanish,
Well,
which comes back to the level of confidence.
yes,
There's people who are very soft in their confidence. There's people who want to be this is the biggest challenge I see in my 40 years of doing this. There's people who present themselves as confident but are scared as a puppy on the inside, and it's just it's hard to watch as they present themselves as fully confident, fully dressed, fully prepared, fully everything, and yet every word out of their mouth just lacks so much integrity and strength, and in any intention there's absolutely nothing behind the words, even though the words are perfect words. Which is why psychology shows that 7% of a public speech, of a presentation, of a conversation, 7% of it is based on the words. The other 93% is everything else: tone, timbre, visual, music, and the float of the words, and the vibration, and the change, and the pitch, and all of the things that have nothing to do with the words. So if you can that's why dogs who don't speak our language use the 93% and always get our attention. Or babies who do not speak get our attention with a 93% success rate because they're not talking. Our words, especially if they're not backed by confidence, right? There's a thing in sales that says, don't buy back the sale. Some people buy back the sale the moment they open their mouth.
yes, I have experienced that in my downline. Yes. And it blows me away when people do that because I don't understand why and how. Or do you think they're not confident and they feel like this person can't possibly believe me, so they just keep talking until they have talked the person out of actually the sale? Because I have seen that and I've never been able to help the person overcome that, because it's a real issue when you selling something.
Well, the biggest reason they buy back the sale is so that they don't have to change their identity. They get to say, see, I failed again. They don't get to say I succeeded. That's not part of their identity.
They like attracted to failure.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
They're attracted to they don't see themselves as a failure. They see it as if life is tough for them. So they attract life is tough for them to themselves. And it's as predictable as the sunrise.
Wow. Yeah.
It's just law of attraction. It's literally law. It's about doing things in a certain way, and they will continue to do those things in a certain way because that's their identity. You can lie all you want. You can practice all you want. You can say, I'm going to get better. I'm going to do this. I'm going to change. I'm going to write out my goals. I'm going to do this. And it's a lie until you get it. How many times have we seen it's the rare person who's an addict who gets clean on the first try and stays clean? They usually have a relapse. The challenge is we have relapses every morning. The moment we wake up, we have a relapse. We had 70,000 thoughts yesterday. 80% of those thoughts were not in our favor, and 80% of those were negative in nature, of the repetitive thoughts. So we go to sleep. We didn't get enough done. We're already going to bed too late, and we're going to wake up tired. And as soon as we wake up, we have to immediately identify the body we're in. And the easiest way to identify the body we're in is to remember the pain we have. I got to get this done. I'm already late. I got to get this. That's not going to happen. I got to meet them today. Oh, they're going to piss me off. And so we go through this whole thing and we do all of these habits without ever thinking, without ever opening our mouth. We start to run the program from the moment we become consciously aware back in this plane, if we even got to sleep. So now we've decided that, and then we show up someplace. We're deciding to go. We got an event this afternoon that's going to be a unbelievable event. I'm going to change my life. And they do temporarily at the event. Big decisions are made at big events. And as soon as we get back to the environment that we left, everything from the event is gone. If we don't repeat it within 24 hours, we lose half of the neural connections. And by 4 days later, we're back to the old programming.
Wow.
So everybody says
okay.
they want change.
Yes.
Nobody's willing to commit to it on an hourly basis.
Because they go back to their old environment, and that's where it's comfortable.
Yeah,
And
very easy. It's this comfort zone. I got to get out of my comfort zone. It's a pain zone you've become comfortable in. You left your comfort zone to go to someplace else because where you want to go with your goals, if you moved confidently towards your goals, you could arrive at them in 6 months. 6 months. There's not a single goal any of you have set or any goal I've ever heard set that if somebody truly believes it in confidence, they could do it in 6 months.
Yes.
Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Why don't they? Oh, man, I had a day like you wouldn't believe. And it's just they lose their level of confidence in their own belief of their own idea. If they ever had the confidence in their own goal, which is why Jim Rohn says, or Bob Proctor says, you got to write it out all the time. Napoleon Hill says, write it out. Bob Proctor, write it out twice a day. Read it multiple times a day. But it's right there. It's right there. Read it, write it, do it, live it, breathe it. Won't do it. People just won't do it. It's the craziest thing. I don't know why. And so I kind of Jim Rohned it. I didn't sign up for that class. I stopped signing up. Why aren't you doing that? Well, I got sick, or my dog had a hangnail, or, I think one of the stars is off on the what are you talking about? The neat thing about excuses is anyone will work.
Yeah,
Which is when I came up with the phrase that said, hey, listen, I'll answer your question. Are you looking for a reason to succeed or an excuse to fail? Because you can use my answer for either. Which would you like to use it for? Because if it's an excuse to fail, I don't even have to give you one, do I?
No, because it's wasting your time.
Yep.
But it's very true. And I mean, teaching, I see it every day. I give the students homework, and only very few will do the homework, and they always have an excuse.
So a question I ask when things like homework, activities they have to do, hey, I'm curious, when we have our next session, how would you feel if your homework was done? How would you feel if you could tell me, yeah, my homework's done? How would you feel? I'd feel great. If you don't have it done, how would you feel? I'd not feel good. Which feeling would you like to have for our next class? Feeling good or not feeling good?
And then there's some people who say, I didn't come because I didn't have my homework done. So then they like miss an entire instruction because they're punishing themselves even more.
That's exactly what we started this conversation with. I don't understand why people would fail that way, because that's the part of their identity. So if that happens, a solution I might suggest is, hey, I've met some people in the past who've actually avoided coming to class because their dog ate their homework.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a dog? And is your dog hungry for German homework?
I love it.
And again, it's that laughter, because most people get very, right? Oh my God, I'm failing, because that's not something new that they decided. That's not a new trait that they forgot to do your German homework for themselves. They forgot work in school for years. So listen, I understand that dogs love German homework, especially if we're talking about German chocolate cake if you're right. You can have some fun with it, but dogs love German homework. I have never met a dog that wouldn't eat German homework. Do you have a dog? And just create that laughter saying, listen, it's okay if you forget your homework. I'd suggest you do it. But if you forget, let's not miss the lesson.
Yeah. Yes.
Because you paid for it.
Yeah. Exactly.
See, you can, it's hard to imagine you and I having this conversation to think that there's somebody out there that I paid for this. I want this, and I'm not going to show up for it.
No, people do it all the time. It blows me away. You're right. And not even the homework excused. People pay for an entire class and never even show up once. Yes.
So I would ask them, hey, listen, what are 3 reasons that would keep you from coming to class? So when I would set appointments for network marketing, hey, yeah, I'll be there Tuesday. I'll meet you on Tuesday. So today's what, Thursday? Yeah, I'll see you on Tuesday. Awesome. I love it. Before you go, what does meeting me on Tuesday mean? And you watch their, I had no idea I was using, I never called it novel, being novel about the questioning. It was simply a question I asked because I got tired of people no-showing. So what does showing up on Tuesday mean? Literally creating a new set of neural networks in their brain.
That is a great idea because people do that to me as well, or they like cancel like an hour before or something like that,
Yep.
Especially with network marketing.
So I always would, so what does Tuesday mean? So what does showing up on Tuesday mean? Well, we have an appointment time. What time? And literally sometimes they don't even remember because it was a total blow off. 11 o'clock. Awesome. I'm curious, why would we meet on Tuesday? Well, you want to give me the presentation. And why would you come to the presentation? Well, I want to hear more about your stuff. Hear more about it? I could send you an audio and we don't have to have the meeting. It would free up my day. Well, I want to learn more about it. To do what? Well, to see how to get started. And why would you want to get started? Well, because I want to create the income. And what would be your first goal? Awesome. So we could do one of 2 things. We could wait till Tuesday to get started, or we could start now and by Tuesday be creating income. Which would you like?
Wow.
But because we hear an answer, we think that's the end. That's the starting point. Yes, yeah. Oh, we get a yeah, right? I'll do the yeses. I'll teach on yeses. Maybe I'll teach the 3 yeses tomorrow. So anyway, so that's the whole thing about confidence. When you are confident in valuing your time, you will ask more pertinent questions about them showing up when they said they would want to show up. So that's that conversation. I love it. Love it.
Yeah, that's very good. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you too. Good morning, Michael.
Hey, good morning. Hey, it's been a minute. How are you?
Good. Good to see you, brother. Congratulations on your recent success and continued success.
Yes. So my question this morning is about, I call it a little bit of the YouTube, right? So words are 7% and then it's the other 93%.
Yep.
And my thing is with state, I understand it's all about state. However, I would say getting into the state of believing that it's possible. So my goal before March ends is to close 4 big deals, right? 4 big contracts. And so I have my first big contract is going to close on Friday. And I'm like, and that really helps with my belief. Now just, before it's done, I think what I'm doing is I'm focusing too much on my current results and it's limiting me. Like, you know what I mean? I have a limiting belief. And right. So I just like a quick, any advice on how to believe that your goal is possible before you've achieved it. Does that make sense?
Sure. So the what you're doing is the phenomenon of comparitis.
Mm-hmm.
You're wanting to do something you've never done before, right?
Yeah.
So your brain is telling you, because there's a dollar figure involved, you've never done anything like this.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lie. You're driving a
Okay.
car. When you were 3, could you have driven the car?
No, probably
No.
not.
So why do they wait till we're 16? Because we have enough common sense, but not enough to keep us out of doing stupid stuff. But you've now gone through the learning and the trials and the understandings of how to drive a car.
Mhm.
Did you ever travel international?
Yes. Yeah.
But there was a moment where you never traveled international.
Yep.
There's a lot of people who've never left the country, but you don't think traveling international is a big thing because you've done it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So are you providing value to these people that you're talking to? Or are you stealing their money?
No, we're providing tons of value.
Oh, I know.
We're,
I know. So my question is have you ever provided value to people in the past and been paid?
yeah. Yeah, I have.
So Jim Rohn says, if you want to get more money, create more value. Are you providing more value with this package than the previous packages you offered?
Yeah, this one definitely is much more value than what I've
So then
previously sold.
the only belief is that you've got to believe that this is more valuable. That's it. It's not the money. The money's it's even cheaper than the value that's provided in any package offered by the Cardone community is more
Mhm.
valuable than the price they paid. What does it say in use value? You have to give more in use value than you're getting in cash value. Do you believe that if they use the product,
Mhm.
that they'll get more in value than they paid for it?
Yeah, yeah, and I will admit that was something when I first started. It wasn't like I 100% believe that. However, I go through the training that I sell every single morning and night. So, and then all the testimonials that we have definitely reinforce that every day. So yeah, now I would say I do believe it, and I would say it was a challenge for me just believing
So,
we did
couple of
help.
things. One, you don't think you provide the value. You're not the one providing the value. You're the one selling it.
Hmm.
You because it's a $30,000 or $100,000 contract. You think, oh my God, I'm not worth that.
Yeah,
Is Grant worth it?
yeah,
Then all you're
yeah.
doing is paying. Listen, I've got an offer. I'm the link to him. Would you like to get to him?
Yeah,
How hard is that?
not very hard.
So this is where the challenge is, Michael, and this is where network marketing struggles, is that people, when they don't know about the product, sell a hell of a lot of the product. When they have to learn about the product and they go, oh my God, I need to understand what this mushroom does and why that does this and how this does that and what is this doing and why is that doing and the 17 ways of the comp plan. Now I have a superior experience that I can go make you feel inferior.
Hmm.
Here's the
Yeah,
other challenge. You're talking to people that can fork over the money for this program, right?
yeah, yeah. We're talking to qualified buyers, right?
Hang on. Would you, and this is, you don't have to answer this, but I think you and I both know the answer. Would you go drop the amount of money that they're going to go, that you're asking this person to drop? Would you drop it tomorrow for this program? If I
Actually,
had it, would be the answer, right?
yeah, yeah. So
So
that's
that's the
the number one
challenge.
question. Yeah.
That's the challenge, is that I couldn't pay for this. So we lose our confidence. But
Hmm.
don't you already have access to the programming?
Yeah, I do.
So then you've already paid for it.
Hmm.
So have you paid for the product? We think because we didn't write a check, we haven't paid for it.
Hmm.
The
Yeah.
hours, hundreds of hours of you writing out your gratitude got you to this point.
Hmm.
Getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, sitting on the porch here on the picnic table, writing out your gratitude was payment for the program.
Yeah.
But you haven't correlated those two. You forget about those two. And you're like, holy crap, I have invested in this program. I have invested in me.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you're trying to convince yourself that you'd buy it and talking to them that it's worth buying. Hell, I don't know if it's worth buying. I know the results are worth it. I think it's probably worth more than whatever it is you're selling it for.
hmm
Can you share what the price is, or would you rather not want to share what the
yeah,
price is?
yeah. I mean, a 1 year contract's, let's say, 30 grand, and then you can do a 2 year contract, 3 year contract. So just
Okay.
multiply it by 30 each year.
So for $30,000,
Uh-huh.
Alexa, that's Alexa, what's 30,000 divided by 365? Oh, are you kidding me? Alexa, what's $30,000 divided by 365? So here's a question, Michael.
hmm
The person you're about to go sell this $30,000 package, is it okay if they made an extra $82 a day in their business? Does their business model allow them to make an extra $82, $100 a day?
Yeah, yeah, definitely it would.
So if we could help you maximize making $100 or more extra a day, I think you probably want to make more than that. That's 7 days a week. Take off the 2 weekends. So we got to add another $200. So it's $700 in a 5 day period. Could we help you make an extra $700 in a 5 day period to help offset the cost of this? Would you like to, do you believe this is going to help you earn more than $700 a week?
Yeah, yeah.
Then we should probably sign up for a 10-year contract.
hmm
If we break it down to the ridiculous, it becomes ridiculous not to get started.
hmm Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point when you put it that way, because they can definitely make more than 700 a week for sure with this.
So one of the things that the biggest challenge is that is the initial sting of the payment, right? You can do it over time and the
hmm
pain continues, or we can get started. And the question is that if you choose not to do this, it's pretty much guaranteed that you'll have the typical increase that is acceptable in business. And I don't know if you want to base your business on the typical standards of business. If we're
Yeah.
having this conversation, you're not a typical business owner. You see value in this, you see a desire in this. So the question is at what point do you want to take your business from ordinary to extraordinary? Now, I don't know what's included in that, if there's follow-up and community calls or whatever it is, but say one of the things is there an accountability program that goes along with it?
Yeah, yeah, that's the main secret
Okay.
to it.
So one of
Working.
the things is that, do you believe that your business has the availability to provide you an extra $1,000 a week? The only thing keeping you from it is the discipline.
hmm
What we're planning, what we're suggesting is that the use of this program will allow you the discipline to take your business not only to an extra $1,000 a week, but to beyond that. And therefore, this becomes a revenue generating purchase. Every time I buy gas, I better be going somewhere to make money to pay for the gas tank. You purchase this program, we're going to take you places your business has not been before. Question is at what point do you want to, are you going to decide that your business is worth more?
Yeah. And Sean, so to that point, it's great the way you broke it down for me to fathom the 30 grand and realizing that I did pay the price, even though it wasn't through money. And so my thing is I'm setting the appointments, right? I don't have to close it.
Yep.
So give me one sec. So I think my thing is maintaining that state of mind known as absolute certainty when, like, throughout the entire day, because I did the math, right? And if I can book 6 appointments a day, I can very well make 30 grand a month.
Yep.
Just based off if I book 6, 3 people show up to a meeting and 1 person does a deal,
Yep.
right? And then the math. So my mission here is to book 6 meetings a day, right? And I'm hitting a ceiling at 2 meetings a day. Like that's where my paradigm's at.
Yep.
So
So who does
So
Michael
it-
become if he gets 6 meetings a day? Forget about the money. Who does he become if
Yeah.
he gets 6 meetings a day? Who's going to start tapping you on the shoulder? Who's going to start asking you to do some teachings if you get 6 appointments a day?
yeah, the vice president of sales would definitely
So
come by.
that's your fear is that you get asked to teach.
hmm
You're not afraid of setting 6 appointments in a day. You're Michael Muzak. You could do setting 6 appointments does nothing. It's the closers who do the work, but you have to set the appointments. So the challenge is if you do that, you become the teacher and you feel that you're not worthy to teach the people.
Okay.
That's where the hiccup comes in.
hmm
So you think you're going to be teaching them you're going to teach 6 appointments a day, but I'm only doing 2. This is where your faith comes in. This is where your gratitude comes in. You have to sit in change the way you look at things. Jim Rohn says you close 6 out of 10 and I close 1 out of 10, I'll beat you. Because I'll outwork you. And I'll get better. You can't get better than 6 out of 10. It's rare to get better than 6 out of 10. But I get 1 out of 10, I'll beat you. I get 2 out of 10, I'll crush you.
hmm
So you have to switch for 2 is easy. 3 is easy. There's a switch that has to happen because the question then comes down to if the VP comes and says, I need you to do some trainings on how to close 6 a day. Are you ready for the love? That damn thing again. Shit, that thing never leaves me. That's the challenge. Are you ready for the love?
Yeah, because that's what I want the most in this job. I think even more than the money is I want the recognition that I am producing for this company and I'm a valuable part of this whole Cardone system. So
Yep.
Okay.
So if that's the case, what's the identity of Michael Muzak? If he's the one that is recognized and loved and respected and can serve and can meet the guy who's doing 1 and say, hey, listen, I was there. And truly mean, I was there. I know what you're going through. Keep going. It's worth it. Start to play those stories out in your mind.
Yeah. When you give me that homework to write out what it was like when I get my first sale, those help a lot. So I'll start writing out stories of what it's like to get the recognition from the VP of sales, from the top people that are in leadership here. And
imagine a note on your desk from Grant that says, hey, nice job.
Yeah, that would be
Get a
really
smile on
cool.
your face. That's it. So that recognition, so lack of recognition is what drives you.
Yeah.
But not having the recognition to work for the recognition is a conflict of energies. It's okay to have ego. It's okay to have desire. It's okay to be bold, but not brash. You can't go in there, big swinging a bat saying, I'm Michael. You got 2. You got 2. Evidence says you got 2. Can you show up as somebody who's worthy of 6?
Yeah.
Walk in there today with a level of calmness that you don't have to worry about your income ever again because you close 6 a day. You get 6 a day appointment. Walk in there today with this absolute confidence. As soon as you get out of your car, 6. I did 6 yesterday. This comes easy to me. And
Yeah.
don't talk about the shortfall of 4. Say 6 is easy. I have it done by noon because I love what I do. The value people are getting, I get to be a mouthpiece for their Cardone community to help people truly transform their business. The only reason you're calling, the only reason we have an appointment is because you want more.
Hmm.
Are you ready?
Yep. Okay. That's gonna be my state today. That's gonna be my state today. So awesome. Well, Sean, I'm gonna
Love it.
hop real
Go. Get
quick.
going. See ya.
But yeah. All right. Thank you for that. That really does help a lot.
Awesome, brother. Love you, man. Have a great
Yep.
day.
All right. Bye, guys. I'll see y'all.
Anyone else? Last thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways, take with yous. I'm going to check on Nola. Give you a live up to the minute update. Camera. Technology is so awesome. Anyone else? Last thoughts,
Morning,
comments,
Sean.
questions. Good morning, Gigi.
How are you?
Outstanding.
Good, good, good. Okay, confidence. Confidence. And when you were talking about like where the confidence is in your body,
Yep.
I feel it in like the solar plexus area.
Yep. The doing. That's your doing. That's your solar plexus chakra. That's the doing. I do. So that's the perfect spot for it.
But I recognize that it affects like my voice.
That's your
That
voice.
yes, like when I talk, when I
Mhm.
don't feel confident,
Yep. Throat
I
chakra.
yes,
Okay.
like it cracks and I can't control like the pitch and the tone of my voice, so it'll go up and it'll go down.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm realizing that's it comes across like when I'm speaking, especially like public speaking.
Mhm.
I see that a lot.
Okay.
So my question really is because I feel like I am entering a new phase or chapter in my life. I don't know how to like describe it, but it feels as though I've been in like a haze and
Okay.
things are starting to become a lot more clear now
Okay.
as to like what I want with my life.
Yep.
So the main question is how do I allow the confidence that I know is within me to be expressed?
So where do you have confidence that it's not shaky or cracky or squeaky?
What do you mean?
What's that?
Sorry, say that again. I don't like.
So where do you have confidence
Mhm.
in your body that's not squeaky or scratchy or shaky?
Is it in my body?
And you're dancing,
Okay, yeah.
right? I
Yeah.
mean, when you move your body, you become something of a visual piece of beauty,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So what I would offer, probably not in the public parking spaces, but I would offer you start to dance a little bit and then speak.
Okay.
Because if you put your body in a state of confidence
Hmm.
and you talk to yourself about it, it's called linking. You link the words now to this feeling, this vibration of dance. Imagine if your words danced out of your mouth.
Hmm.
They wouldn't be wrong. They would move to the music. Whatever the dialogue is, the music of the conversation.
Hmm.
Is this making sense?
Yeah, it's making sense.
It seems odd that, wait a minute, dancing to get my words better? Yeah. Because we all have a level of confidence in a particular area of our body. Mine, it's public speaking, which most people think that's just the absolute cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I love to speak. I love to communicate. I love to connect. I love to show up and say, give me a word, we'll have a conversation. But that's how I've trained my brain.
Mhm.
Listen, you and I want to go in a dance contest. Probably will come in second because there's only two of us, right?
Great.
And you would almost feel bad for me to go into a dance off. Going, Ma, I've never seen a 2x4 just move around. How does that thing flex at all? Right? In talking, though, my words seem to dance out of my spirit.
Mhm.
I've just done it a lot more. You've done dancing a lot more than I have. You're good at dancing. Right? So allow your words to dance. You are the epitome of Joseph McClendon's assitude. You shake your booty, your confidence goes up. Are you in your car right now?
Oh no, I'm at home.
Okay. So are you sitting down, standing up, laying down?
Laying down.
Laying down. Shake your booty. Look, I said shake your booty. You're just on the bed, go,
Okay.
right? It changes your state. I'm serious. These are the little things that nobody's going to say, okay, just go shake your tail feather and then talk to me later. But you put on your music that you love.
Yeah.
And it could be a slow song, could be a moving song, could be something, but music moves you. Let your words find their music.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Because you deserve it. I love you. Thank you for asking.
I love you too. Thank you.
Yay. That makes sense, y'all? One of the things, right? Tony Robbins pyramid, physiology, focus, language, and meaning. I was doing notes here. So here's another one. Where is it? Here's the card. So self-mastery. Is that backwards for y'all? So self-mastery, observation, and communication. Self-mastery, self-management. When you get in charge of you and you observe the world around you and communicate to that world that's around you, you exude a level of confidence nobody else on the planet can have, because most people don't have mastery over themselves. And that's what we just went through with Gigi and Michael. Self-mastery. There's nothing outside of you that can change your state better or faster than you changing your state, than you becoming the master of maintaining your state. And in the beginning, we have to link it to things we love to do. I love having somebody throw up an objection out right at smack, right in the face, pow, little pie in the face, because isn't that fascinating? It tells me more about them than it does about my answer. So that's where the resistance is. Where they want to put up an objection is a fight in their own body, not with me. Not with me. We heard Michael. The challenge that he's having when you're selling high ticket items, $30,000 items, is the belief that I wouldn't pay for it. Think about it. I couldn't afford that. But when you sit down and think about it, you can't afford not to. You break it down to the ridiculous. If somebody's going to go spend 30 grand, their business better give them an opportunity to make an extra 120 grand. So it's $700 a week. Could you make $2,100 a week? Does your business model offer you an increase of $2,100? Yeah, then this is a steal. This is a 3 times investment. The question is how fast can we get you to that $2,100 in the week? Is it a 1 week deal? Is it a mind shift, or is it a process? Do we need to implement some processes, or do we need to work on that cranium of yours? And in the beginning, it's cranium for the majority of people. The process isn't, we can't even put the process in place, because the process will keep us to our identity. I'm going to reach out to 100 people a day. Okay. It's day 2. Have you reached out to 200 people? Well, no, my duck lost a feather. What? My duck's afraid of water. I had to sit with my duck yesterday and tell it water's okay. Okay. What? So we have to get our mind in order so that the processes can perform. Because there's no process. You can have the perfect process. If you're not going to perform it, then it doesn't work. So, does that make sense, y'all? I love you tons. I'm your head brain training, confidently stepping into your and remembering your best version of you. I will see you all where?
The next event.
At the next event. Somebody give me some Costa Rica.
Gouda vida.
Pura vida. We love you, Mark. And some Lydias.
Peace be with us.
Peace be with you and all of us, and the queen of helping you uncover your confidence like you've never known before, Jessie Lee Ward.
Boss Lee.
Boss Lee, we love you, girl. And a little white, fluffy confidence all over you.
Gurgly,
Gurgly. We love you, Fee. All right, everybody, go have some fun today. We will see you tomorrow morning, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, confidently communicating and connecting with you. Till then, bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.